welcome back to the next episode of the Sensible Mama podcast. I am Polina Westcott, your host. With me today is my favorite guy, my husband. Hello, Nicholas.
Hello. Back by popular demand.
My demand.
Yes.
Right. So we thought today we would talk about life with a newborn because there's a lot to talk about.
Yep. I mean, you have a baby now. All right, end of podcast. So yeah, I mean, like, it's a lot, right? It's like a whole change of everything to have a baby. I don't know, where do you even begin with that?
I guess, like, what were your expectations? Like, when I was pregnant, like, obviously, when you're pregnant, like, your whole world is the pregnancy and, like, delivering the baby. And that's, for me, that was, like, not entirely, but to some degree, like, that's where my goalpost was. Like, that was my end goal, was, like, preparing for the delivery and getting my body ready and getting the mindset, right, and the whole switch from hospital birth to home birth. And I was, like, so wrapped up in getting ready to deliver the baby that I didn't really put a whole lot of thought or preparation. Not that I wasn't, like, preparing. Like, obviously we were, like, getting diapers and stuff. But I, like, wasn't really thinking about, like, what comes after the baby arrives,
Yeah. I mean, that's not really a thing. I mean, like, I don't know, there would be no way to actually prepare anyone for that. I mean, like, having an animal kind of helps, right?
End of
Like,
episode, you cannot be ready.
I mean, like, yes, like, prepare yourself for everything. I mean, like, me neither. Like, so, like, to answer that question, like, I went through, you had the baby, and I was, like, obviously with the first one, I was, like, I don't even know what to do with the pregnancy part. Like, you have a baby. But it wasn't like, oh, now I'm ready for what comes next. Like, I was the guy who was like, I can't wait till they're toddlers. Can you just pop out a toddler? Because then I'm good to go.
That.
Yeah. I got those guys down. I knew toddlers. I knew I could run around. We could have a lot of fun. Babies weren't a thing. Like, I had never really done anything with babies, really.
Did you ever change a diaper?
Gross. And it was, yeah. I mean, I don't know. I actually have no idea how I would even be ready for it. It's one of those things where you just you jump into it and you just do it, right? Like, I'm having a baby, and then you're like, cool, whatever comes next, and you got to be open for whatever that means, which is a lot.
Yeah. So now that we've thoroughly scared all of the first-time parents, what would you tell yourself? Like, if you were to tell Nick from, 4 years ago, who's, like, got a pregnant wife, what would you say to that guy to get him ready?
No, I wouldn't. I literally wouldn't. I think it's an ongoing joke, too, and I've heard this more than once, where, like, people will say, oh, you're expecting, it's going to be amazing, you're going to love it, and then, like, they have the babies, they're like, welcome to hell! Like,
there was some comedian that did that as a scare,
yes,
right?
100%, yeah. And it's not that bad, but it's like, what would I say to myself? Be prepared for anything. Like, honestly, there's no preparation beyond try to figure out how you want to raise your kid and how you want them to be, and go for it. And there's no, I don't know, prepare for it. Yeah, go ahead and be ready. I dare you. See what happens. And then it's going to be the exact opposite.
Yeah, it's kind of funny. Like, I remember when Matthew was born, we didn't even go upstairs at first, because for me, I was terrified to just walk up the stairs and carry him up the stairs. I had gone up and down those stairs for the last, 4 or 5 years living in that house, and I know how to go up and down stairs. I know how to go up and down stairs carrying things, heavy things, loads of laundry, cups, furniture. Rarely did I drop anything, if ever. And yet there was this baby, and I was like, he's so tiny. He's not even the tiny, like, as far as babies are concerned, he was almost 10 pounds, like. But he was so tiny, and I was, like, so nervous. I was, like, clutching him to me. I'm like, if I drop him, why would I drop him? I don't drop things. Like, that's not, like, a thing that happens in my life regularly. Why would I drop him? But it was, like, this fear of mine.
Yeah, is that true? Like, did we not go up? Because I feel like, I might be getting things mixed up, but I feel like everybody left and we walked upstairs. Like, it was, like, super late at night, and everybody finally walked out the door, and then we went upstairs.
So we did. We went upstairs, we put on that onesie that barely fit him, because it was a newborn onesie, and he didn't fit into newborn onesies. But then for some reason, we decided to sleep downstairs for the first few nights. Remember that? Because we had that power outage, and we had the lantern hanging.
Well, I think we made it. Did we go back downstairs? Maybe we did.
I just remember
No, you're
sleeping
right.
with like the big pillow thing, the snuggle me or
Yeah.
whatever it was called.
Because I think because we had, I guess, yeah, no, you were on the couch. We were like, yeah, let's just sleep downstairs. Was the power outage the same like 2 days after he was born? Like, oh my God, that's
So that's
hilarious.
another thing. After baby arrives, like time is just not a thing.
Ugh, no, but it
Like
is
all
also.
any concept of time just completely flew out the window for me.
Yeah, it's crazy. I mean, like, between just the 24, 23 and a half hours of labor, and then that was finished, and you're like, okay, I got through that, and now everybody left, and now you're like, oh, baby? Now, I guess? All right. And now you have a baby, and you're like, cool. And everybody's like, good luck. And you're like, but I don't know what I'm doing with this thing. And you're like, it's okay. It'll be fine. Go have fun with it. Okay.
The good thing is at that stage, there's not much required. Like I feel like maybe your perspective was different from mine, but you're making it sound very scary.
Listen, it was like I'm like, let's be honest about it. It's not like like for me, it was like, is he dead? Is he, like you wake up in the middle of the night going, let me check to see if he's breathing. That's just what I did.
So here's a funny thing: is so did I, but it wasn't like out of fear. I don't know. I don't even know what emotion. I felt tired. That was the emotion.
That's a good
But
one.
like I would wake up. Well, actually, also he slept on me, so I knew he was breathing because I could feel everything about him. But I remember like there's this sense of wonder where you're like, this is a little tiny human suddenly lives in our house. We have a new tenant here. Like, what is this?
Mm.
And he poops and he requires feeding, and sometimes he gets cranky, and we have to figure out why. And it's it's exciting, and it's whatever other crazy emotions go on, and then your milk comes in, and that's a whole nother. That
Tell me
was
about
an
it.
intense moment, but like.
I feel like that's for a separate guest. I'm like, sure, milk. Mm-hmm.
No, for you, I remember, I don't know if you remember me like imploding on the couch when that happened. Like my hormones were completely crazy and I had like a full breakdown. You were like, what do I do with this? Like I just started
Wow,
like sobbing on the couch and I was sitting by the window and crying. You're like, what's wrong? I'm like, couldn't tell you. I have no idea what's wrong. Just feeling feelings. You're like, is
just
there
feeling.
anything I can do to help? I'm like, I have no idea. Literally, I have no idea what's going on right now.
That's awesome. I'm curious. Like, there's no way on your first baby that you have the first week of life being this friggin' lollipop and fairy dust week. Like, I
What
don't
do
know.
you mean?
Like, so like you're saying, I'm making it sound terrible. Like, I am freaking out, right? Like, so like first week of life, I'm like, I don't know what I'm doing. I've never had a tiny baby, right? I now have to make sure he doesn't die, right? Like that's a lot of responsibility. And no one has like people have told me and I've seen things, but now I have this little thing and honestly taking care of him is easy, right? It's actually it's not hard him technically, but inside you're like every little or a cry or whatever, your entire body's like, I'll help
I
you.
mean, we're gonna say
I'll
we
help
took
you.
him to the pediatrician when he had boogers.
Oh
Like,
my god, that
I
was
am not the
awesome.
kind of person to take I don't use doctors as often as the majority of the population does. My kid had boogers, and I was like, take him to the doctor. What's wrong with him? The doctor's like, congratulations, you're a first-time mom and your baby has boogers. Here's how you get them out.
And you're like, I
I
knew
was
that
like,
already.
okay. So, but
Yeah.
but like, I think that's kind of the point. Is like, if I were talking to somebody who is expecting their first child, I would say the fear is in your head. It's not in the real world for the most part. Obviously, there are exceptions with like, kids who have like medical challenges. Like that is the exception to the rule. But like, it's all in your head, man. It's not so bad. Like you're tired, you're hungry, you're off schedule, you're sleeping at weird hours, you're trying to figure out how to breastfeed. Husbands, you're trying to figure out what to do with your hormonal roller coaster of a wife and all this stuff and figuring out poop and diapers and the blowout diapers and you're like, what's happening? But like if you just take a step back for a second, it's okay. Like you just have to like you said, like it's not that hard to keep a baby functioning and alive. Like pay attention, change the diapers, feed the baby, clean the baby, love the baby. That's all they require at the early stage. Like there's really not that much. Like what is the checklist for taking care of a baby? That's what it is. What I just listed, right? Like it's not terribly complicated. And the fear is in your world. And it's okay. Like it's a rational sensation, right? Like you've never done this before. Anything for the first time can be scary, and then you figure it out, and then it's not so scary. Like you start a new job, it's scary. The first time you drove a car was probably terrifying. The first time you get on a bike is scary. For me, the second time was too. But like it's really it's gonna be okay. And you do get to that toddler phase where you do get to run around with them and play with bubbles and jump in the pool and all that. But like I would say my advice would be like try to take a step back and look at the objective, like what is actually happening, and just enjoy the teeny tiny little squish with his impossibly perfect minuscule little fingernails and toenails. Like just soak it in, which is so cliche, because isn't that the advice that everyone's like, did enjoy every moment, it all goes by so fast. And it is cliche, yes, but it's also really, really true.
Yeah, that's valid. I mean, so I guess I wonder if given that advice, because almost guaranteed you were given that advice ahead of time, right? Me too. I wonder, did that help me?
I think it helped me.
Okay. See, I think I would probably say get a couple people that have been through it and you like can talk to and get them on speed dial, right?
Maybe that's why I felt more or less okay. Like I did have those people. I did
So
have.
I was just there.
You were just in the dark.
Cool. That's I feel
Like
better
I
now.
would talk to my best friend Veronica, and I was like, whatever. Like I had some people that would call and check in, and it's interesting because we didn't accept visitors immediately, which I think was also a good move because that would have stressed me out more. Like we waited a moment. I don't remember how many days, but we were like, all right, everybody chill. Like give me a second to the point where I'm not like having to full blown waddle to go to the bathroom, just like half waddle. But like, and I don't know, maybe that's also my personality. I'm like, the house has to be clean before anybody arrives. And so the idea of having guests come over, people are like, we're just here to help you. Like, we'll help you clean. And I'm like, no, I have to do it myself. But yeah, like, but I agree. Like having people that tell you, hey, it's okay. Like, even honestly, even the pediatrician appointment was great because the doctor was like, your baby is very healthy. It's
Yeah,
okay.
that's
And
cool.
something about having the doctor tell me that my baby was perfectly healthy, I knew he was healthy. Like, in the back of my mind, I knew nothing was wrong.
Sure.
But it felt good to have somebody tell me, no, 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 it's okay. He's doing great. He's gaining weight and everything is perfect and whatever.
Yeah, which is nice. I mean, I feel like part of it is like I feel like you can't fully get somebody ready for it because the other side of it is there's no way you're getting them ready for the amount of just love and like overwhelming like this is mine like that you get for this little child almost immediately, and there's absolutely no way I can be like you're gonna love this thing so much that you would kill people for it, like, and people
Yeah,
would be like, oh
and you
yeah,
say
whatever.
those words, yeah, but like, what does that even really mean for real? Because I agree that nobody could have prepared me for. Like, the attachment, I guess, is the word. The love, the way that they become just an extension of your own being.
Right, the complete adoration. I mean, it's like it's a little cultish. Let's be real about
Oh,
it.
creepy.
Like, if we're gonna like, I love this thing so much, it will ruin my life. And it does, right? But like, I don't know. So like, that is what is the cool part. That's like, I almost think that anybody who is not just terrible as a person, which is a very few amount of people. Like, let's be real about this. Most people would be awesome, and I just know that, like, once that kicks in, once you see that, once it happens, like, it's not gonna be a problem, right? And you're gonna figure everything out. Like,
Yeah.
you can have your life in a complete crapper, and then be like, oh, baby, and then turn it around. Like, it's amazing.
Yeah, there is something about parenthood that makes you want to be a better person in a way that very few things in life do.
It's because it's not like, it's a necessity, right? It becomes a necessity. It's not a want or desire or like a New Year's resolution, right?
Mm-hmm.
We're like, oh, this year I'm going to lose 5 pounds. It's like, I have to go to work. I have to, have that money in the bank. I have to make sure that this child is fed. Just because, again, it's like you want them to survive. You want them to do well. You don't want somebody to come and take them away. Like if you're going to get dark about the whole thing. But, like, it's just, I don't know. It's like, oh, it's not that bad. I was going to be like, if somebody was holding a gun to your head, you're going to do whatever they say, right? But
It's
not
different.
like that. It's different.
No.
It's like that. Your best friend is in needs help, and it's like help that like just they needed help for, right? It's not even like a communicable some word. It's not a disease. It's like you can't talk about it correctly. Whatever those words are mixed around. But it's like that feeling of just like, I'm going to go do the thing. I don't 100% understand it or whatever. I just know that I have to and I want to. And it's going to be the thing that gets done. And that's just how it is for the kids. It's just, that's what happens.
Yeah. I mean, like, in the physical sense, definitely. Like, you got to do the things. Like, if you don't want to change the diaper, that's nice. You're going to go change it, even if you don't want to. Like, do I feel like getting up to go clean that mess? No, but I'm going to do it anyway. Like, so there's, like, you just learn to do the things, like you're saying. But then there's also, like, just, like, a personal growth. For me, I've found, like, I'm like, okay, I have learned, and this is less about like the newborn phase and more now that we're getting into toddlers. But like, I have become more patient. I was fairly patient to begin with, but I have become exponentially more patient as a person since having kids, because otherwise you just go crazy. I learned that I am capable of more patience. I'm not perfect by any stretch. Like, I still lose my temper, and sometimes I'm like, I have told you a gajillion times to put on your shoes, and I'm going to throw your. I don't know what I want to do, but like, but like, for the most part, my ability to plan has become better. Like, my ability to predict. I don't know if it's just like an instinctual physical reaction, some chemical, something that happens in the body that like rewires moms, but you're like, okay, if I need to leave the house at 10, and then you do this like crazy math where you like go backwards, which means 3 diapers have to go in the bag, which means I need to also have this snack, and if the second baby doesn't do this, then the first one is gonna, and then if there's no poop by 9 o'clock, that means I also need to bring sunscreen, and you're like, it's like weird algebra that doesn't make any sense to anybody, except it just happens, and you're like, now I am magically prepared. And it's crazy. Like, I wasn't like that before. I was able to plan things. I wasn't, like, completely useless. But, like, the necessity to just predict what's going to happen and how is it going to happen. And if I say this, what's he going to do? And if I don't say that, how is he going to react? And if I tell him about this activity now, what's he going to say if it doesn't happen immediately? What, like, all these different things. And I feel like as a human, I've just had to develop a better personality
That's awesome.
in order to facilitate the survival of my children.
Makes sense. I mean, kind of have to. I mean, it's funny because you also do it unconsciously, right? You're not like working at it, because it's even like, I was just thinking, like, as they're growing, like from newborn stage, you sit there and you try to figure out how to get them to sleep, how to get them to eat, how to do all this, and you figure, like, okay, this is happening, so I have to do blah, right? And then, like, from baby standpoint, it's not that bad. Much less preparing, right? But you're like, cool, baby in front of me, this is what happens, so if I do this, then it's going to make this happen, right? So you're sitting there figuring out, and the fun thing is, every time you figure it out, it changes.
Yeah.
Like, literally the day that it happens. So you're like, okay, got it. If I walk them 3 times, bounce them twice, so we're going to right to sleep, right? And you finally figure it out, and the day you figure it out, nope, it doesn't work no more. Like, at all. Done. But it's so then you just, okay, what's the next thing? Fine, got it. Let's move on. And so you have to slowly grow anyway, because you're like continually creating with this little child, and you're like, okay, I'm going to do it, and here's the next thing, I'm going to do that. And then, you get there and they keep growing, which is great. I mean, that's kind of what you look for. You want the child to not stop growing because that would be a very small child. I don't know. Or a very small old man, I guess, at that point.
I think it goes into, we've talked about like, if I had to boil down parenting to one word and one word only.
I'm not allowed to say that word on this particular program.
What I would say is observe. You gotta observe the kid, and you gotta observe the kid that's in front of you today, not the one that you had yesterday or a month ago or a year ago. To your point, like, things change. A baby doesn't need what a toddler needs, and a toddler doesn't need what a teenager needs. Like those are obvious examples, but even just day to day, like, I don't know, like, okay, every time I do this, he gets cranky. Okay, so let's change that. Or, you know, the kids try to communicate to you, and before they have words, they figure out how to communicate to you, and different sounds mean different things, and different gestures mean different things, and you kind of learn what a different cry sounds like. There's a different one for my diaper is dirty, and there's a different one for I'm tired. And every kid, like, I've seen this thing online that's like, if it sounds like ah, it means this, and if it sounds like e, it means that. And I'm like, no, I disagree. But you, as the parent of your kid, you can figure out, and you can observe what's happening. You can observe, he's kind of shifting around. What does that mean? Okay, he's like arching his back this way. Okay, maybe there's some pain there. And like, you can't be in the books. You can't just pay attention to the videos online and the blogs and whatever else and what other people tell you and the advice that, some random family member gives you or whatever. Like, the most important thing is to observe in the now. Like, what's happening with this kid now? What is this kid doing now? What does he need now? And don't enter in other opinions, just observe. That would be my biggest piece of advice.
I mean, I feel like that's like a good life advice. I don't know. Like, that's just like, don't worry about what everybody says. Just do the thing you're doing. Yeah, no, I think that makes the most sense, because you're just like I said, like, as soon as you figure it out anyway, it doesn't really matter. So what is the next thing? So yeah, I mean, but the fun part is, I think the whole thing is, it's a cool ass adventure, right? Where it's just, you kind of jump in and just go for it. And I feel like people get scared about that, right? Which is understandable, right? But like, there really isn't a downside. Like, it sounds like there is. Like, honestly, if you listen to any parent, and you're not a parent, right? Any slightly intelligent teen to early 20-year-old listening to a parent goes, why would I do that? Why would I put myself through that at all? And every parent that's been through it goes, why wouldn't you put yourself through that? Like, 100% go do that right now. And they're like, right? Like, and I get it. Like, it's a completely different viewpoint that you could never have until you have it, right? That's why you have people who, get pregnant in high school and they become really good parents because they have to. They don't have a choice. And then you have, you have the other people that just get so freaked out about it that they just keep waiting until they can't, which is sad, because I don't know, just go do it. Like, go.
We were 10 years married before we had a kid, which is crazy to think about. I don't think we were particularly scared, or, we were just doing other things. We were involved in work and projects and life, whatever.
Different cities. Like, different states.
I mean,
like,
long distance relationship, for the first while, but it's funny,
I feel
like,
yeah, we hadn't really had the conversation though.
No, we weren't avoiding it. We weren't like, this is scary or anything,
Like, let's put it off until XYZ happens. It wasn't the thing that was the thing.
Yeah, we just hadn't decided to do it. And then one day we were like, had a conversation. We're like, how about we have a baby?
I'm like, that sounds great.
You're like, that sounds great. Let's do this.
I love trying to have babies. But yeah, and then it was just happened.
Were we ready? Weird. I don't know. Are you ever ready to have a baby? Is there? I don't feel like there's ever a good time, or
it's the decision. I think what you just said makes sense. Yeah. Like, you're not, you go and you just go, and you can't think about it too much. It's just like, it should be inevitable. Like, that, not in the Thanos kind of way, but like in the, like, obviously we would, like, I was thinking about this the other day, actually, and you have to be a little bit cocky about it, where you have to go like, I actually want more of me in the world, right? And you have to kind of like be like, that's a cool thing, And then it's awesome, right? And then you just go like, yeah, I'm that good. You know what? Let's have some more of me. It's great. It's fine. And let's mix the two of us together and make the ultimate baby. Yes, let's do that.
Right?
Play a little science with but like you should want that, right? You should want to have like these little things that are your coming from you go out in the world and just make the world a better place, because if you already are thinking that way, or you already think that you're helping to some degree, then why wouldn't your kids also help that to a large degree? Like I watch, like you tell me enough stories about our son going in and just being like, let's chill the place out, like let's go and have fun with kids, and like if they're fighting I'm going to back off and it doesn't really matter, and then it ends up the kids just start playing and things like that. So like why don't we want more of that in the world? So this is about me.
Of the same mind, where like good people should have kids. To put it very simply, like to just kind of summarize what you're saying, I think good people should have kids because the world needs more good people. And chances are, it's not a guarantee, I'm not saying that like all good people aren't going to have some like kids that turn out kind of funky or whatever. Because people make bad decisions and the world is a crazy place that needs some help. But like if you're in a relationship with a good person and you're doing good in the world, then let's bring more good into the world, right? Like there isn't a good time to have a kid. It's crazy and it's chaotic and it's unexpected and things happen and your schedule gets crazy and the challenges are wild, but man, the joy is just unreal. Like the other morning, yesterday, whatever morning that was, we wake up, the kids wake up, everybody's giggling, they're hugging each other. There's just like, it's just joy. Like, it's just joy. And that's like,
there you go. Why wouldn't
it.
you want that? Right.
And you just sit there and you looked over at me and you're like, what's even happening right now? And I'm like, this is it. This is what it is to have kids. And like, what you were talking about before where like, you talk to parents like, I'm so tired and I can never go out to parties, and there's always something to complain. I mean, there's always something to complain about whether you have kids or not. Let's be real. If you want to complain about something, you can find something to complain about. And yes, kids are like crazy chaos, and it's trying to schedule guests for the podcast, and just crazy things happen when you have kids, and it's okay. Like that's just part of the package. But man, is it worth it because of moments like that, or like, we were at the pool the other day and Matthew sees this other kid who was kind of grumpy, and he goes over and he's got this jelly octopus thing, which is just whatever. And he gives it to him. He's like, I want to share my toy with you. And he's just bringing joy to some other little kid. And the kid lit up and the mom's like, what's happening right now? And everybody at the pool is just witnessing this. And it's like, this is what it is. It's the pride and the joy and the happiness, and just it makes the world better. So that's my spiel. Have babies.
All right, there you go. Can't argue with that, I don't know. Yeah, I mean, you're not wrong. There you go. Done. I don't really know how to put much better than that. It's just good.
There you go.
Like,
end of podcast.
Obviously, that was pretty simple. Have babies. Sensible mama. I guess that's, you win. I'm speechless. Newborns. Let's go back to that. Let's change the topic, because I think you handled that topic very well.
Have I convinced everybody listening to have more babies?
Yes, 100% of them. Oh, sorry, I was going to say about that. You ever seen the movie Idiosyncrasy?
Yeah, Idiocracy.
Idiocracy. Yeah, that's great. So that's honestly, it's a stupid reason, but if you haven't seen it, the premise is all the dumb people had babies, and they keep having babies because all the smart people were too smart, and they're like, let me wait to have babies, let me wait. And so they basically bred themselves out, and now it's the future, and all the dumb people are just running the world. And one smart
they're like
person,
trying to feed plants with Gatorade and wondering why it's not working or something.
yeah, because Gatorade has electrolytes. Okay, come on. It's not Gatorade. That's also trademarked as Brondo. Anyway, I don't even know that's right. So anyway, yeah. So that's honestly a weird. It's an odd possibility that could actually happen, right? Like, there's no reason why that couldn't happen. Also, I don't think that dumb people necessarily have dumb kids, but like, it's the premise thereof. Like,
it's an exaggerated premise, but it is a premise, yeah.
Anyway, so I have babies.
But like, I always get excited when I have like people in my life that I love, and I'm like, man, these are just good people, and whether they're doing something massive in the world or just being good people, like, that's enough of an activity as far as I'm concerned. You hear that a friend of yours is pregnant and about to have babies, and you're like, yes, there should be more of you in this world. More people like you is a good thing for the community, for the world. Everybody wins. Let's do this. This is great.
Yeah, agreed. And the fun part is that you always get to have the best baby in the world. Like
Absolutely.
no matter who you are, no matter what baby you have, you honestly, as a parent, and it's not even like a joke. It's like as a parent, you think your parent is your child is the best child in the world, and no one is a better child. No matter what child you have, somehow every parent has that same idea, and we have data to back it on. We're like, oh, did you know that my child because this and that and the other thing and 99th percentile, 100th percentile, like
I'm concerned, every parent is right because why not? You know?
yeah, I
Like,
mean,
if you, like, okay, this is going to sound a little woo woo mystical. We're getting off into, like, philosophy now. But if you see the best in people, you're going to get the best in people. The same is true of kids.
yeah,
When you see the best in your children, you're going to get the best in your children. And when you validate the best of your children, that's what they're going to give you. Like, they know that the kids are just the most amazing thing because all they want is to help and to make you happy. And I know there's some parents of toddlers out there going, for that one time where he was like literally just on a mission to make me a crazy person. Yes, I get it. I get it. But like at the core, in the deepest depths of their soul, they are amazing, good, beautiful beings that just want to help. And like if you just let it happen and you acknowledge that and you validate it, even when they're just the teeny tiniest little squishy little munchkins, even in that moment, that's all they want. And like when the baby does something and you smile and you can see they're like, oh, I did that. You're like, seriously? It's just like you're like a little blob of squishiness. How are you capable of such huge like potential,
everything,
right?
right. I mean, I do kind of think we should do the same thing with our coworkers. Just every time they're like, look, I turned in my report, be like, oh my god, that was amazing. You did so good. Yes, you did. Yes, you did. Like, if I could get away with that, I totally would do that.
But the truth is, like we've both been in, you know, corporate settings and the business world and whatever. There is truth to that. Like, if you keep putting attention on the crap that people do, you're gonna get more crap. And if you put attention on the good things and you kind of like, you did something crappy, got it. Okay, but you did this thing right. And that was really awesome. Let's do some more of that, right? Like, as a philosophy, I have personally found that to be a very workable way to deal with people. And definitely, especially children.
Which is great and smart. And it just is workable. And it makes your life better because then you're not going around going, oh, he's a piece of like, oh, I can't believe, you know, and you get those times or whatever, but then also like, whatever. Also, it makes life so much more happy. Like, honestly, like all the little things and you like, I can't remember having as many little pleasure moments throughout the day as when you have a kid, right?
Yeah.
Because you're just like going through life and you go to work and you do the same work and every now and then there's a laughter thing and blah, 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 but you don't like come home every day and be like, did you know that Bob over in accounting, he did a somersault? Did you know that?
Yeah, that's cool.
But kids, like,
But when you come home and I'm like, did you know that Matthew taught Oliver a word? Like, that's amazing. And it's like so fulfilling, right?
it's so cool. And it's just like, what kid levels up and you're like, it's amazing. And it's just every day. It's like that little blurb or like some picture or he just gives you a hug randomly or whatever, and it just makes the day that much better. And the fact that
or even if it's not so pleasant, it's at least entertaining, like TMI maybe. But my child the other day was sitting, you know, doing a puzzle or something. I was sitting on the chair, he was on the floor sitting and doing a puzzle, and he looks over and he's like petting my foot, which was kind of weird, but also toddlers do weird things, so whatever. And Mama, why do you have hair on your toes? And I'm like, okay, cool kid. Okay, yikes, got it. I'll handle that. But also, it was hilarious, and you don't get that kind of humor anywhere else.
nope, no, you do not. It's like that blunt. It's not malicious though, right?
No, it's just unfiltered. Like
Right.
somebody else would have that thought too, except they just wouldn't say it because society has told you not to, you know?
Right. Nope, can't say that.
Oh, but man, you know, I was at the pool with the other moms in my little co-op group, and a little girl comes up to one of my friends, another mom, and goes, "You look like a mermaid." And like that other mom legit almost started crying because what an amazing compliment coming from a toddler. Toddlers just say what they think, and if she thinks that you look like a mermaid, that means she means it, you know?
It's true. It's very true. That's awesome.
Amazing.
I want to be a mermaid.
Another thing I wanted to talk about while we're on the subject of just parenting and being happy. Yes, it's a better way to live because who doesn't prefer being happy to being just grumptastic all the time? But another selling point to just being happy, because I need to sell that. Your kids need to see you be happy.
It's valid. It's actually super valid, unfortunately. I mean, not unfortunately, but I mean, so you have those days, right? You come home and you're like, screw this day. 100%. I just want to be pissed and I want to go sit in the corner, and you can't, because then your kid becomes pissed and he goes sits in the corner because that's what mommy did, that's what daddy did, and that's obviously what I need to do. You have to go, and it sucks for them too, because they want to come home, and if they're like, or when you come home, they just want to hug you and they just want to play and they just want whatever, unless they're hungry or tired, in which case, please feed them and put them to bed. But then otherwise, they just want to play. So if you come home and you're like, get out of here, right? It just makes them, you're teaching them how to act, which is terrible. But
and
like
also, like, what kid wants to be that when they grow up? So they're like, wow, adults are just pissed off all the time and they hate the world. I'm gonna not do that. Like, why do I want to take on more responsibility? Why would I want to grow up if that's what I'm growing into, you know? So, like, aside from it's just a better way to be, like, I think you actually have a responsibility to, even if you don't feel it. Like, perfect example, yesterday, you weren't feeling great, right? So you're like, I'm gonna lie down because your stomach hurt. Okay, you're allowed to lie down when your stomach hurts, like, that's fine. Except there was a child who was gnawing on me, and I was like, I literally can't. And you gotta suck it up, and you did, and you saved the day. Thank you for that. And you just, like, step in, you're like, okay, what I think and what I feel right now doesn't matter in this moment, because a kid needs something, and he needs positivity, and he needs not to be yelled at, and he needs not to be just dismissed as an annoyance, which in that moment he was.
Sure.
But, like, you just kind of have to overcome your own whatever out of necessity, because kids deserve that, and they need that. And they need to be able to look up and be like, man, when I grow up, I want to be like that. Like, I want to be proud of my work, and I want to have good days, and I want to be excited and do exciting things. And, like, it's hard sometimes. Really hard.
Talk about how to talk somebody right out from having kids. Like, by the way, when you're sick, nope, can't do that.
Yeah, but you know what? It makes you a better person.
Right.
I get more done. I actually started recently timing how much work I get done in a day. I had no idea. I had no idea how much I was actually capable of getting done in a day. Which, awesome. I used to complain before we had kids. I have no time for this. I have no time for that. What the hell was I doing?
I mean,
I had all the time, and I didn't have time. Do you know what I mean?
You also work 2 jobs. I don't know. You know, there's...
Yeah, but I work a job that's 20...
So you do. It's a little bit different, though. Let's be real about this. Like, I think if we took it from, like, when you first had the kid, right? Like, when newborn to now, right? It's a different ballgame. Because newborn baby is... Like, and I would expect nothing less. Like, honestly, mom should just be on the couch, on the bed. Like, just chill out. Feed the baby. Regrow the insides. Make them go back to where they need to be, right? Dad needs to go around and handle stuff. Like, you just, like, go do that. And it's not even like, I have to do this thing. They're like, let's take feminism off the table. Done. Let's look at the facts. Lady... pushed body out of her body, and then an organ as well went with it. Now she doesn't have those anymore. Her also body was like squished and like this, and they all have to go back. That's a lot. And then you have to produce milk. Like, feed that woman, please, for the love of all that's mighty. Go let her rest. Go let her put her feet up. Everybody clean that frickin' house. And it shouldn't be the dad cleaning the house, because he's also losing his frickin' mind, trying to handle the kid and the mom. So there should be other people coming in to clean the house. But above all else, maybe have a dirty house and the mom should just be sitting. Like, really. And then feed the baby, get through that. Like, take the time. Like, honestly, I would tell dads, like, I took a month off on the first one, two. At least two. Go take two off. Because at the
I
end of a
remember
month,
you were originally gonna just take a couple weeks, right? And I was like, okay, cool.
I mean, I don't know.
No, we had no idea.
Right.
Absolutely. I thought I was gonna go back to work after a month also. So like that tells you where my expectations were.
Which people do, and it's not insane, but also, like, at the same time, like, don't. I don't know.
I guess it comes back to the same thing of just observe. Like observe yourself and what your kid needs and what you need. Like, mom, please just allow you to take care of you. Like, it's actually okay. I remember I was very lucky to have the boss that I did. I had the baby and I was like, I'm gonna go back to work after a month. And after a month we had like a little meeting. He's like, do you need more time? And I was like, I need more time. He's like, good, go take more time. And then it was at the 3 month mark, we decided, okay, that's it. You know, March or whatever it was, I'll get back on a part-time schedule. And like, we were like in touch, you know, he would like text me and check in on me and whatever. And I remember we got back to a meeting and I was like, hey, John. He's like, you're not coming back, are you? And I'm like, I don't know how I can. He's like, it's okay. Like, go be a mom. It's great. Go do that thing. It's absolutely fine. And like, it wasn't easy for me, particularly because for the last, I don't know, 15, 16, 17 years, all I did was work like 80 hours a week. That's all I knew was just working. And it was 2 jobs and crazy commutes. And that was my life. And I was okay with it. Like, that's just what I had gotten used to. And so then I was like, I'm not working. Like, what is this? Like, I don't know what to do with myself. And it was a tough transition for me. It wasn't easy, but it was right.
Good. That's good. I mean, I could be joking and be like, oh, it's so hard to have to stay home all day long and just take care of it. But also, I'm not going to say that because then I have to go to sleep with you tonight and it might hurt. No, but like, it's different, right? It's a whole different thing. And it's cool that we could do that. I was actually really happy that that could be pulled off and that we could make that happen because the one, daycare is just freaking expensive to begin with. And two, like, I can imagine, but I wouldn't enjoy having my kid get brought up by other people because I see the amount that we rub off on them, or I see that when they go and they hang out with a friend or they hang out with the grandparents and they pick up something every time. There's something new they come back with, which is fine, and they're growing and they're learning and everything like that.
Yeah.
But then you're throwing them in with people that you don't, unless you know them, in which case great. Like, if your best friend's watching your baby, love it. But most of the time it's random people that you don't know. Yeah. And you're hoping for the best.
And it could be great. It can be great.
Sure.
You know
and I'm not trying to, like,
right.
I don't want to be like terrible for doing it because there's definitely whatever. You do you, right? You got to, situations come up and you just make it happen and make it work and whatever. And kids are the most resilient things anyways. That's also another fact of life. No matter how good you're doing, like, you could literally be giving that child a silver spoon, right? And you're still going to be like, oh, it's not enough. Just keep doing whatever you think you can. And then at the end of the day, he's going to grow up and he's going to learn and you're going to be able to have conversations and they're going to keep growing and they're going to keep learning and it's going to be crazy and then it's going to continue on. Like, we're at toddler stage. I'm still looking forward to finding out what happens in teenager stage and everything else because we have so much to go. No, it's the wrong word. But you get the idea. It's like, who knows? Like, everything that happens now could be like, doesn't matter, right? We could install... He could figure out right now how to be a mechanic, right? And it won't matter in 5 years when he goes, I actually want to be a botanist or whatever, right? It's crazy.
Nah, I guess that's the theme for me today is you just got to observe. You just got to see what's happening now. What do we do now? And how do I make it better? And like you said, like, don't beat yourself up over it. Like, it's challenging. Parenting is like a whole new ball game. It's super fun. It's super rewarding. And if you love your kid and you're doing what you can, and if yesterday you didn't do a great job, do a better job today. Do a better job tomorrow. Like, it's okay. You're growing too. Somebody was telling me, they were like, you know, like, having babies early, like when you're like a teenager or in your 20s is not easy. It's never easy, but you have to grow with your kid. Like, you're still growing up and then your kid is growing up and you're both growing together and it's like a whole experience. I can't necessarily relate to that, but it makes sense because, like, even, I mean, we had our first when I was 30, And I'm like, I'm still growing, you know, like
I was gonna
I'm
say,
still learning about myself. I'm still becoming a better person and I'm still figuring out, okay, hey, I keep doing this and that's a bad habit and I can't do that as a parent, and so I'm gonna change it. And then I don't. And then the next day I'm like, I'm actually gonna change it today, and then you don't, and then you actually do. And it's like a crazy whirlwind of just constant improvement.
yeah. I mean, yeah. And I mean, I feel like, I don't know, at any stage is the same situation as at any other stage, which is a weird thing to say, but like, it's just a different level of what you're doing, right? Again, I guess it comes back to there is no good time, right? You're never, like, people don't stop growing. They don't get to the point where they're like, got it, made my job, made everything good, don't care about making anything better, right? There's always some part of life that they're trying to work on, trying to make better. Like, even if you have the stable, like the job that you like and you're still going, like, you're like, made it here, then probably you're trying to plant plants better or like grow plants or learn an instrument or something outside of that. There's just always that extra little thing that's happening. Just do it. I don't know. Maybe you should wait till after high school. Would probably be a smart idea. But like, just hop in. Like, whatever. Like, people make everything go right. So if you want it hard enough, whatever it is going to be, you're going to get it.
Yeah. Yeah. That about sums it up.
Observe and do it. Just do it. Probably can't use that Nike. Sorry. We have to make up another one. Observe and
Make it happen.
go ye forth.
Man. Well, yeah. I don't know. I think that about covers it. I mean, we could talk about parenting forever. You can get into all sorts of philosophy and books and methodologies and whatever, but at the end of the day, the basics are you're gonna love the baby. Like that's just unavoidable.
You will never know until you know.
Yeah.
And then you will know, and then you'll never be able to describe it to anybody else. It's going to be great.
Yep. You're just gonna say, trust me, it's worth it.
Right. And they'll be like, uh-huh. And they'll get there and be like, oh, yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
Once they start to get a little bit of sweet, then they'll be like, yeah.
Yeah.
Around
No,
age
no,
3.
the sleep is important. It helps your brain work good.
It does make brain good.
You're not getting enough sleep, are you?
Never.
No.
No. I figure, when do the kids move out, generally?
18 or so.
All right. Only 17 more years to go.
Unless we have another baby.
Negative 30. No, it's good. Anyway, yeah, I mean, end of the day, let's wrap it up. Baby's good. Procreation, great. Have babies.
There you go. Couldn't
Yeah.
have said it better myself.
Good.
Well, thank you very much for joining me today
You're welcome.
for this dissertation on parenting and whatever else we talked about for the last hour.
Yeah.
And yeah, I don't really have much to say except one shameless plug for myself, because I can. And that is, wherever you're watching this, I want you to know that I am now also on Spotify, which is a new development. Very exciting.
Awesome.
Another thing that I really, 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 really am excited about is my glossary.
Nice.
If something's going wrong, probably there's a word in that something that you don't understand.
Or 5.
Or 5. And in the subject of labor and delivery, pregnancy, and early, postpartum parenting and all that, there are a lot of terms thrown around. Like, it's actually bananas. It's like you're expected to have a degree in the medical field in order to get through pregnancy. And I think that is A, unfair, and B, actually destructive. So I decided to do something about it. I put together a glossary. It started off as 24 words, and then it grew to literally over 100 pages of definitions.
Great.
Everything from what is pregnancy and what is the placenta to, various different complications and devices and medical terms that they throw around at the OB's office and so forth. So I'd like for you to go check it out. If you're pregnant, if you're thinking about being pregnant, if you know somebody who's pregnant, the URL is sensiblemama.com/glossary. In the near future, I will also have it available as an actual book.
Wait, do you have all the words up there?
I do.
Wow.
I have everything up on the website for free. You just go. I want it accessible to anybody. If you're going to a doctor's appointment, you're pregnant, and they're like, hey, you have blah, 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 blah. Pull up the website, look up the word, figure out what it means. My goal was to make it complete, but also not filled with medical jargon. So you do not need a medical degree in order to understand these words, because holy moly, it can get very overwhelming. Words like failure to thrive. I'm sorry, failure to thrive sounds absolutely terrifying. It's not as bad as it is. Go look it up. sensiblemama.com/glossary. Go find out what that means. I'm not going to tell you. Go look it up. Anyway, super excited about that. I hope that it helps a mama or two out there to figure out what's going on and feel in control and thrive. Yes, indeed. Anyway, that's all I got. I'll see you guys in the next episode. Thank you, Nicholas.
Welcome.
Bye.
Bye.